After the defeat at Fornost in the year 1975 of the Third Age, the Witch King fled into the darkness. His realm of Angmar lay in ruin, his armies broken by the strength of the West, elves of Lindon, Dunedain of the North, and the host of Gondor under Prince Ernur. Pursued far into the cold lands beyond the mountains, he vanished from sight. Yet he did not perish, for he was no longer bound by mortal flesh. His spirit endured, and in secret, he returned to the land where his master's shadow had begun, to stir once more. He came to Mordor, silent and watchful. There, the Nazgul gathered again. In the year 2000 of the Third Age, he led them forth in open war. They besieged Minas Ithil, the stronghold of Gondor that stood as a guard over the passes of the Ephel Duath. The siege lasted 2 years, and when the city fell, its beauty was defiled. Its palantir was seized, and its name forgotten. In its place rose Minas Morgul, a place of terror and death. From its high tower, the Witch King ruled, cloaked in shadow, his will sharpened in the service of Sauron. For long years he waited, gathering strength in silence, while the Dark Lord prepared his return. When Sauron declared himself openly in the Third Age year 2951, the Witch King stirred again. In 3018, he led the attack upon Osgiliath. The eastern half of the city was taken and the bridge broken. The Nazgul crossed the river for the first time in centuries, striking terror into the hearts of men. It was then that he began his search for the One Ring. Disguised in black robes, mounted on dark horses, he and the other 8 rode into the west. From Dol Guldur to the Shire they passed, seeking the ring-bearer. At Weathertop, the Witch King wounded Frodo Baggins with a Morgul blade, hoping to turn him into a wraith. But his prey escaped, and the ring was taken to Rivendell. Though he failed in his errand, his power did not falter. He returned to Mordor, where open war had begun. When the Dark Lord's armies marched against Gondor, it was the Witch King who commanded them. He led a vast host from Minas Morgul, crossing the Anduin once more. In black armor, mounted upon a fell beast with leathern wings, he brought ruin to the Pelennor fields. Before the walls of Minas Tirith, he broke the great gate with a stroke of his mace. None dared face him, for his presence alone brought despair. Gandalf the White stood before him, unmoved. But before their duel could begin, a great horn sounded. Upon the plain, the Rohirrim had come. The Witch King turned his wrath upon them. In the chaos of battle, he struck down King Theoden of Rohan, whose horse was crushed beneath him. Yet it was then that his doom approached. A lone warrior stood between him and victory, Éowyn of Rohan, though she bore the guise of a man. At her side stood Meriadoc Brandybuck, a hobbit of the Shire. Laughing, he declared that no living man could hinder him. But Éowyn cast aside her helm and answered, "But no living man am I." As the Witch King raised his mace, Merry struck him from behind with a blade of Westerness, an ancient sword crafted to oppose his kind. Éowyn drove her sword into the void beneath his crown, and with a terrible cry, the Witch King fell. His form was destroyed, his spirit cast out, never to rise again. So ended the Lord of the Nazgul, Sauron's greatest servant, the shadow of Angmar and the terror of the Third Age.